Hi class, it's Patty Laney. It is Monday, February 5th, about 12:34 p.m. and I've created this video to give you an overview of our Module 6 assignments. So we are in Module 6. You'll see that Module 6 is the last module for this course. So this class does end tomorrow, Tuesday, February 6th. This is what we call the 6-week class. It's the abbreviated class, different from the field communications class if you are also in that class with me. So again, the class does end tomorrow, February 6th. That means you need to submit all assignments to the Dropbox by 11:59 p.m. February 6th. Do not miss that deadline by even 1 minute. Plan ahead for sufficient time to submit your final exam. For power issues, computer issues, please do not wait until the last minute because you do not earn any points for those assignments submitted even 1 minute late. So our assignments this week, you again are reading chapters 10 and 13. And then here is a link. I created kind of this folder here where I have listed all of the PowerPoints and all of the links to the PowerPoints from our live lectures. So you can review that content. You can still earn points for any of the previous live lectures. So if we click on Module 6, lesson content, here are the objectives that are guiding our studies for this week. And again, the content for this week focuses on constitutional rights of citizens, of suspects, when law enforcement officers make traffic stops or they have encounters with citizens. Those citizens or those encounters may develop as part of investigating a crime, responding to a crime in progress, but it's really those interactions that create a lot of case law regarding criminal procedure. So obviously law enforcement officers have limits on the authority to gather information related to crimes. So again, chapters 10 and 13, we have a fair amount of content here. For this class and classes going forward, you should know essentially the main points of the 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments regarding rights of suspects. So be sure to essentially memorize this list. Content here regarding the 4th Amendment. Again, the 4th Amendment protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Not all searches and seizures, but unreasonable searches and seizures. And so think of the different types of encounters that law enforcement officers have with citizens and the limitations on what officers can do in terms of gathering information related to a crime or even questioning suspects. Use of force is an issue that I covered in the live lecture. Be sure to review that issue and that content as well. 5th Amendment issues relate to protection against self-incrimination. Those are the Miranda type of issues. An important point to remember regarding Miranda is officers are only required to read Miranda when 2 factors are present: custody and interrogation. So the issue of Miranda is not triggered just when officers happen to speak to somebody. Miranda applies to those situations where officers are asking questions specifically related to a person's involvement in a crime, such that the person's comments may incriminate the person or involve them in criminal activity. 6th Amendment right to counsel. Review that content. Exclusionary rule, make sure you have an understanding of that content. In terms of cases that you should be able to recognize by name and understand the legal issue that was decided in that case, those cases would be Mapp versus Ohio, Terry, Miranda, Carroll, and Works versus U.S. at a minimum. Again, we have a practice activity for you, so be sure to complete that. I would go back and complete those previous practice activities as part of studying for the final exam. So you do have a paper this week. You do not have a discussion topic. You do have a final exam. Here is where you enter the information from the live classroom that I gave on Thursday, I think it was. So for your written assignment, what you should first do is read through these scenarios, and then for each scenario, you need to analyze and discuss the legal issues related to custody and interrogation. So we're talking about 5th Amendment rights. And you need to decide for each of the situations, you need to write a paper where you address each of these questions for each scenario. So essentially you need to decide, should the officer have read Miranda in these scenarios such that custody and interrogation both were triggered? So this is an opportunity for you to share your thought process. I need to see your thinking process. Be sure to include any sources that you rely on, any articles, any cases, any information from your textbook. I want to see your thought process to see that you are fully understanding, that you are able to identify the legal issue and whether Miranda should apply. So that's what your paper is about. And then the final exam, it's 30 questions. It is timed. It is over the previous information covered in the class. So again, I would be sure to review those practice exams and your previous quizzes. I think you can go back into your quizzes and review your questions, but that would be another good way to study. Go back and review my previous lectures and those PowerPoints as well. Again, I'm going to click on the course homepage. You should have access, I think, in an email to end of quarter surveys, end of quarter evaluations. You have that opportunity in all of your classes. Certainly in this class, I very much appreciate if you take the opportunity to complete those end of quarter surveys. Your comments, your feedback, your suggestions are very, very helpful. So please, please, please consider completing those evaluations. They are completely anonymous, so I don't know whose comments are whose. But again, like I say, if you hate the class, tell me you hate the class. Or if you think I'm a terrible instructor, tell me I'm a terrible instructor. I can handle it, but I need that feedback so that we can improve on the course and I can improve my teaching abilities as well. So the idea is to always be continuing improving, and I work on that as well. So with that, I'll post the information here so you'll see the course homepage in this video in a bit. Be sure to, again, meet those deadlines. Let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate all of your hard work in this course. Certainly wish all of you the very, very best of luck. Oh, one more thing. I am going to add these links to the course announcements, so be sure to review these articles, just some additional information for you to consider. And with that, enjoy your well-deserved break, and best of luck to you in the future.